Today, I'm going to show you a really cool altcoin which potentially could maybe do okay in the market, which is coming up. And it is an AI, gaming and metaverse. So all in one. Okay, so could potentially do quite well. So are you ready for this? Then let's get into it. What's up, guys? My name is Aaron and welcome to UX Crypto. Hope all of you are doing well out there. So today I am going to be showing you quite a good coin. You know, it's got potential, could do kind of well, right? It's in some good narratives. So yeah, if you like that, then definitely give this video a lovely little thumbs up. And obviously you saw a minute ago, maybe if you like these type of videos, you should subscribe. Okay, think about subscribing to the channel, because we are going to be at the top of this market together, and we're going to potentially find some really good coins. All right, and while we're going through this review, you should leave a comment. Let me know what you think about some of these things, because you know it's a community. I want to see and know what you think about things. So yeah, definitely do that. So let's not wait around any longer. Let me get into it. Okay, so this is our coin right here, and if you don't know what it is called Shockwaves. Okay, and NEUROS, that is what we're looking at. Shockwave NEUROS. And in terms of this being a degen, this is absolute degen, because you can't even see the market cap, right? Market cap is 0. Okay, that's what it says. But and then the trading volume is 2,900. So no one knows about this, all right? And this only came out not long ago. It came out around about, I think it's June, early June. Okay, and then obviously right now in October. So yes, finding a little bit of a floor right now in terms of price. Not much happening in terms of price action. You could argue this is a dead project, or you could argue that it has potential. Okay, so obviously, like I said, degen play, big risk in this one. It might not be where you want it to be, but you know, this is what this is about. So yeah, in terms of circulating supply, it is not showing you that either. So we don't have a lot to go off, right? But please note one thing, right? So currently it says fully diluted market cap right here. So right here, and yeah, we're going to use this for later on in the video. So remember that, and yeah, I'll bring it back up anyway. So what is Shockwaves? Okay, at this point you might be turned off, but let's have a look and to show you why it's kind of interesting, right? Okay, so this is Shockwaves. Okay, so what is it? Is engage AI NFTs online to conquer algorithmic cities. Okay, so the concept is very different. It's using AI, and it is a metaverse and in gaming. Okay, so yeah, let's go into a little bit more. So each AI player has its own virtual wallet, enabling them to earn money for you. Cool, right? They grow stronger and gain experience. You can communicate with your AI players through language model based chat, making it easy to train and develop their skills. In Shockwaves, your AI players can earn money by battling against human opponents and the game's tokenomics. So this is where this gets quite interesting, including the sale of land and weapons. So offer exciting opportunities for wealth building, plus the NEUROS, that's the token by the way, as the primary token for both AI players and the game. Possibilities are limitless. So yeah, I think the concept, right, just read that, pretty cool, right? And it's been incubated by Seedify. You can see that real quick, right? So defend your land with your squad of AIs. So yeah, as you can see where this is kind of going, right? It is basically like you can own the AIs, right? So that's pretty cool. And obviously it reminds me of another project which you probably comes to your mind as well, and that is Chain GPT, right? So yeah, this is kind of cool, but we'll see where that ties in with this maybe, right? But yeah, what can you do? So train and equip yourself and your AIs to compete against other players. So this is where, yeah, you know, AIs will be in a game, but you can actually own the AIs. So I think this is really innovative. I've definitely got to say that. So lead your AIs into epic tournaments, so you can put them in tournaments. And then yeah, AI gaming, fight or train your AI agents. So yeah, it's kind of just saying the same type of things, so what the concept is. But yeah, pretty cool. After the first pass, you know, the concept to me is quite innovative, right? So imagine, you know, when you're playing PlayStation or you're playing against like some AIs on, you know, FIFA or Call of Duty, and you can actually own these AIs, right? And then whatever they go and gamble away or whatever they're doing, they're killing, they're picking up stuff, then you could own that. So I think that's quite interesting actually in terms of the concept. And obviously we've actually got a metaverse and whole game around that. So yeah, this could be potentially good, well, or maybe bad, right? But yeah, either way is something interesting. Okay, so let's go into a bit more of a deep dive now, and we're going to look at, for example, the team, right? Doing a little bit of digging. Okay, so what did I find? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to dive into team right here. So you can see that, you know, these guys working away, having a little bit of fun in their office, you know, so we can actually see them doing stuff. But where we need to really look is the movers and shakers, right? So we've got these two guys right here who are the movers and shakers, you could say, because he's the CTO and the CEO, right? And yeah, so this guy is saying that he is the physicist, tokenomics, and AI specialist, and he's the lead designer and CEO, right? So, and obviously they've got a team as well. It's not just them two. You can see all of them here. But, you know, let's fact check that and go into a bit more and dive deeper, right? So if we to look on here and we can see, look, Samuel's right here. So cool guy. And then, yeah, he's obviously working on Shockwaves, so that's good to know. But you might be like, well, you know, Shockwaves, where are you, Shockwaves? Because he's not here. But Raptor Labs Sal is what he's actually doing. And then obviously he's doing something else. But it seems like it's got a little bit of a VR stuff going on here, which is quite interesting. So giving you relevant experience in gaming. And yeah, look, he has experience with working with Huawei. Okay, so independent design consultant. So obviously doing some stuff in design there. So yeah, I quite like that so far. But obviously we need to look at what this is, because if that is not Shockwaves, then obviously he's not even working on it, right? But let's have a look. So this is the company Raptor Labs, right? And you can see what they're doing here. So a lot of stuff with gaming. And yes, I would say this is actually very good in terms of experience. So it seems like Raptor Labs is actually incubating Shockwaves. That's what I can see. But yeah, look at this, man. So a lot of stuff with AR, VR, so all of that stuff. And it's very much could tie in to the game, right? So obviously, I'm just making an assumption here. They haven't announced that they're going to do anything in VR or AR, but I do think this is actually quite interesting that this is the background for some of them, and it's incubated by this type of thing, right? So they're very, very focused on that. So I would say that market right there, like VR, is potentially massive, right? If you guys have ever used like a Meta Quest or Oculus or anything like this, they've got like a game store, which is quite limited, right? But there's quite a lot of people in those devices. So the potentially, you know, they could do quite well if they did well in that space. So yeah, but then obviously that's Samuel. We want to look at Benjamin. Okay, so let's have a look at Benjamin. So Benjamin right here. Okay, so here he is. It's the CTO, and look what happened. I've seen again. So also this is where you can see it's basically been incubated by this company here, Raptor Lab Style. Okay, and yeah, before that he was a lead game developer, and he was student assistant of computer science of C++. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool, right? He's obviously been somebody in a university teaching a lead game developer before, so he obviously has experience, and that was in China. Okay, so it was on site in China. And yeah, he's obviously working on this company now. So Raptor Labs has been around for 6 years, been there 6 years. So I would say his experience is actually quite strong as well. So quite like the experience of this team. Pretty cool, right? I think this is what made me actually want to do a video on this. Okay, so I think the team's actually got a lot of potential. I mean, and obviously there is basically been incubated by another company, right? But showing that, yeah, they know what they're doing potentially. That company's been around for 6 years, so it is not something which is just out of the random. Obviously, if you were watching my channel, I like teams. I like to know that these people could actually do something and pull something off. So yeah, pretty interesting. But, you know, that's not the be or end all. We've got a whole bunch of stuff that we need to look at. So what about partners, right? Let's have a little look over that. So it says brand integration. And yes, you might have heard of me talk about Chain GPT, and you can see that right here. So they've actually got integrations with using Chain GPT, which I think is quite interesting because it's very similar as a concept in terms of using AI inside of gaming and having like basically AI in these CPU bots, right? Which is pretty cool. So yeah, seems like a partnership with them. So that's obviously the main thing. Other than that, we don't have many partners or anything like that, other than being incubated by Seedify. But yeah, obviously that isn't the only thing we look at, right? I'm going to look at the idea. Okay, so what about the idea? Is the idea good? Is it a big idea? I mean, yeah, potentially it could be quite big. So for example, when we look at the idea generally, you need to look at different genres, and this just actually lines up with 3 genres on the top of my head. So AI, metaverse, and gaming. So you've got 3 genres which could potentially pump the bag, right? But the actual idea of, like, putting an AI in the CPU, very cool. You might say that ChainGPT is obviously the main tech behind that, which is very cool. But this is like the first implementation of it, which could do well. It's more about just being able to pull it off and it do quite well. And also the idea of maybe putting this inside of like the whole Meta Quest, and where that might be. They haven't said any of this. This is my assumption of what could happen, just because I looked at the team and what their experience is in, right? So you might be able to see that happen. But yeah, idea pretty cool. But let's go to the next thing, and that was going to be the website, right? And you might think, well, why am I looking at the website to review it? So the whole point of this is, obviously people come to the website. This is basically your sales funnel, right? So if you have a really good website, people are more likely to take you seriously. And obviously if you have a bad website, people won't take you seriously at all, right? And this can obviously pump people's bags or not pump them. But yeah, so let's quickly have a look at the site. All right. Okay, so generally, right, this is what we're looking at. And yeah, I would say the site is not bad. Okay, I could say it could be a bit better. We want to see a little bit more, obviously, rather than just general art, things like that. I would like to see actual 3D or gameplay. But yeah, obviously understanding what this is cool. I would say also don't repeat yourself a lot, because it seems like this paragraph is very similar to this paragraph and this paragraph as well. And obviously I think you can kind of sum this up in a lot easier ways and just maybe show other stuff. So yeah, but then there's things that you can look, so you can see like different types of weapons you could get. So I clicked on weapons, and it's just showing you some guns here, but it's not showing you too much, right? So I would say it is okay, but it could be a lot better as a site. So yeah, something to think about in terms of the website. This could be revamped, I would say. So in terms of the website, yeah, not bad. But what about the actual product, right? We need to be able to see if it's quite cool as a product, like the metaverse, all that stuff. So let's get into that. So the gameplay, obviously on the actual site, we can't see anything of that, but we're going to go on Twitter to just try and find what we can see. Okay, so yeah, obviously we're seeing some sort of action here, but not a lot of gameplay, right? So obviously this is a very, very early project, so this is why I'm saying to you it's a high risk project, right? And you're obviously not being able to see loads. So you can see they had an OpenSea challenge right here with the NFTs. So you can see stuff like NFTs and all that cool stuff, but not actual proper gameplay and proper metaverse just yet. So so yeah, something to think about. But yeah, the stuff you are seeing does look pretty cool. But whether it goes far is obviously another story, right? So while we're on the socials and we're actually looking for things, well, let's actually grade the socials. Okay, so that's the next thing I look at, is that. So let's do that. So yeah, social media, right? So I'm looking at here in Twitter, and this is 38.8k followers. So yeah, okay amount. But we also want to see interactions. So we've got 18 comments, 13,000 views, and yeah, we've got some fairly okay interactions around it, right? I would say not the greatest, but look, for example, when they have an AMA, must be an AMA, I think. Yeah, they've done a talk, then you've got a lot more people talking about it, right? So so yeah, but not the greatest. It's just okay, right? But this is what I'm saying to you, it's an early project, so you can't think of it as it's going to be like off the chain, right? Because we're so early to it, right? But obviously it might be a risk. It might not be something that will even come off, okay? Because this is the type of risk you take with such early projects. It might not do anything, right? But yeah, something to think about. But what about, for example, coin utility? Okay, what can you do with this coin? And I think this is where I think it's quite interesting, actually. So let's go into that. The main things you can actually do is in-game currency, right? So you've got in-game currency serves the primary in-game currency, enabling players to buy in-game items and loot boxes. So staking and rewards. So Neuro Games holders can stake their tokens. So yeah, you can stake, and then governance, right? So obviously nothing crazy from what we've seen, but I would say there's one thing what really stood out to me, actually, and it was this. So you can also see that you can own NFTs, and here's some of the NFTs that they've got already. So you can see that pretty cool. So this is where I think some of his stuff is quite interesting. So you've got AI NFTs can directly control by the owners and play autonomously as bots in the game. As they play, they will give you a percentage of their earnings to their owners. So that's pretty cool. You own one of these and you can actually get, I suppose, whatever they get and a cut from it, right, while they're playing the game. So a bit like dividend, you could say, right? As they play, the AIs will evolve and improve their ability to play the game, and thus their value will change. So you could sell them for potentially more if they've got a lot more abilities. So not all earnings of the AI will go to its owner. Some of it will be kept and spent by the AI to buy themselves weapons and equipment that they can then use. So yeah, I think this is really cool, right? Like in terms of the whole stuff around this, I like this the most because it's just very different, right? It's a very different way of thinking, and obviously you owning them potentially is quite cool, right? Okay, so what about the tokenomics? So this is actually the hard stuff to find because early projects, they don't really share this information that easily, right? So I've had to try and work out around about what you could make out of this because of the tokenomics. It's not the greatest, it's not the best information, but I will share what I found. So let's get into that. Okay, so here's the release schedule. Okay, so you can actually see roundabout what's going to be happening. It's not too clear, but obviously at this current moment, you can see we're roundabout here from what you saw on the chart before. And yes, obviously they're going to be releasing more and more. It's hard to know what these numbers are at the bottom because it's so not very clear. So it's at 49 weeks, something like that. But yeah, it is difficult to know. But also, right, something which I obviously pointed out to you in the very beginning was the total supply, right, and obviously the initial market cap, right? So as you saw before, we didn't see a market cap. So if we quickly go back, like, you know, there is no market cap, right, from what we can see, but we can see fully diluted market cap, right? And it's currently saying 582. And if we was to go back, then you can see, look, before it was 2 million. So just from showing you what the initial market cap was 49,000 or 50,000, you could say, right? Then yes, we know that we could divide that by 4 and we actually get the market cap, right? So yeah, let's quickly have a look at that, right? So if I was to get my little calculator out, so if we was to do 50, let's do 1,000, okay, and then we'll divide that by 4, and then that gives us 12,500. So that basically gives us the market cap of what it might be right now, considering, you know, they're saying when it first came out it was 2 million, and now it is 500,000. Okay, so yeah, a very, very low market cap, right? So 12,500. Imagine, right? Imagine this did well. That's what I'm saying to you, right? So on that note, right, if we have a market cap of 12,500, then boy, oh boy, right, this one, if it was to do well, could moon, okay? It could go absolutely crazy, okay? So it's definitely something to consider when you're looking at a high-risk project like this, right? But obviously there's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons as well, so you need to weigh that into your equation. But what if you were really bullish on this project? Then, you know, we need a bullish target, right? So that's where I'm going with this. I need to see the bullish target. And yeah, what would our bullish target be? Okay, so we can't go absolutely crazy bullish with this because it's obviously got a bit of risk with it, but where I'm going to show you. Okay, so here is our target. So Wilder Worlds. So as you can see right now, the market cap is currently at 51 million. Okay, so that could be our target right there. And well, 52 now, it's just gone up. But yeah, okay, so what would that be, right? Our market cap of 12,500, and this is exact, right? And we're going to times that by 4,100, okay? And that gives us the market cap of 51,250,000, all right? So yeah, there you go. Pretty dead on about what we are looking at. So that could potentially be 4,100x. So that was obviously our bullish target, and our bullish target is still absolutely insane, right? But I haven't even gone to super bullish target yet. And you want to see that? So let's get into that. Super bullish target, 12,500. Okay, and we're going to times that by 42,880. Okay, and that gives us 536 million. Okay, and you might be like, whoa, what the hell, 536 million? All right, and that is this, right? 536 million Wow the worlds. That's what it got to, okay, in the last market cycle. So yeah, you heard it, man. 42,800x, right? 42,880x. Insane. Okay, so what do you guys think? Is that absolutely insane what I'm showing you? Do you think it's a good project? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know your opinions about this, right? Yes, I definitely think it's a risk. I'm not saying to you it ain't a risk. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. I'm just showing you a cool little project. But yeah, if you like this video, then definitely gives it a lovely little thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And if you like these type of coins, like, you know, me reviewing, showing you some good coins and going into deep dives, then you need to subscribe, right? Subscribe to the channel, because this is where you're going to find out about all this stuff and actually know what you're talking about when you're looking at a project. All projects have come with risk. There's pros and there's cons, and that's why I'm here to show you both. Okay, we're here to make decisions ourselves, and that is what I'm showing you them, right? Just info. But yeah, if you like this type of stuff and you want to know what I actually think about this stuff, then very soon, okay, I'm going to be dropping a Patreon, and you'll be able to see all the coins I've actually gone through, and I've given all of them scores, and you can actually rank them, how good the project potentially is in terms of the fundamentals, right? This is all about value investing. And obviously, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, but it's just my opinions. And obviously, I have a background in UX, 11 years experience in that, and I'm just sharing what I think about this from a product design point of view. So yes, very soon you will get that. So be patient with me. If you liked the gaming plays, right, and you want to know all about the metaverse and all that, you should check out this coin right here. And also, if you want to see a really good altcoin inside of gaming, this coin right here. Okay, so if I don't see you, I'll see you at the top. Bam.